Hey guys, Paul here with Starseed Paranormal. I'm doing a quick intro to this particular session that I did because I wanted to explain a couple of things. Um, in the last session I did when I was experimenting with the Ghost Voice Box app, uh, that had come through that certain members of our government here in America were fallen angels and that they were evil. And this really made me think that I've heard it said before by people that particularly study the book of Enoch, who believe and say that the fallen angels that we read about in the Bible often return to earth, um, taking on the appearance of men. Now, how they do that, I'm not really sure, but it's said that they are our leaders, our religious leaders, our politicians, kings, queens, people in all positions of power. They keep things going in this world with all the drama, the fear, the wars, just everything negative. So, with that in mind, I just wanted to do a follow up session, and this kind of came to me last night to do the follow up session and to do it with the Spain Paranormal ITC Box 2. And the funny thing about these sessions lately, and I talked about this a little bit in the past, it's it's not like I get an idea to say, oh, I'm going to do a session, I'm going to use this particular tool. I mean, sometimes that happens, but I find those sessions don't turn out as well now. Is that when I feel inspired, it will just hit me. Do a session, use this particular tool, this particular app, uh, go along this particular line of questioning. And I just had that inspiration last night to do the follow up about the fallen angels being, you know, the elitists, the people in power in the world, not only here in America, but all across the world. And this session was very interesting to me. Again, another one of those sessions that were very concise, stayed on point with the responses. Many of the responses were quite clear, that you could hear them without headphones, even though I highly recommend headphones listening to any of these sessions. Uh, but it was a very interesting session that made me think, and I hope people that are really invested in politics and or politicians that may watch this video don't become offended or leaving nasty comments. I hope you really think about what's being said here. Is this a possibility? Is it because these people are fallen entities wearing the faces of men? Why we're so divided? Why there's so much hate and anger and war, and everybody's pointing fingers at everybody else, saying, we're not the same, and you're evil, you're different. Something seems very wrong in this world right now. And I think this session was thought provoking, to say the very least. And the interesting thing about this is that when I was done with this session, I had a lot of trouble with the video, a lot of trouble with the audio. Uh, there was a lot of interference, a lot of corrupted video, a lot of static and noise and freezing in the sound. I didn't think I was going to really be able to upload this at all. It was just one challenge after another to keep reworking the video, the original, and tagging the words and trying different things and restarting my phone, and all these different things I was doing to try to connect the problem. And finally I got one uh, to work, and work the bugs out of it, although you'll hear a couple glitches, in one or two places, minor glitches, when you listen to this. But that really made me think too, with a a topic like this and the answers that were coming through during the session, was there a little bit of spiritual sabotage going on there? I don't know. But I never had that happen before. I never had to struggle so much with the video to get, get the sound, get the picture. I usually extract the audio from these kinds of videos and put them with a picture, a thumbnail. But this one I left as is, as I recorded it on the phone screen, and I didn't want to mess with it anymore once I got the words tagged and a video that looked decent and sounded okay. So listen to this session. Tell me what you think, because I found this very interesting, and I might add that, yeah, I think there's some truth to what's being said here, and to this theory that some of the people that walk among us and look like us and claim to be our leaders and good Christians, and boy, they're going to help everybody, but yet look at the harm they're doing. And why is it that we don't want to see the harm when we were aware of these division techniques and all these things, with the elitists and with antichrist spirit, in the past? Now we're just looking right past it, actually defending it. Why? And I'm not criticizing anybody that believes a certain thing or supports a certain person. I'm not right, I'm not left. I think all politics is essentially evil and a human construct. It's there to divide, it's there to control. It seldom, if ever, does the right thing. And I'm just really surprised at how many of us are just looking past the obvious right now, almost like we're hypnotized, like someone cast a spell over our minds. So I hope, if you're really entrenched in politics, or a politician, or the president of the United States, or whomever, I hope you listen to this with an open mind, and maybe consider, maybe all things are not what they appear to be, because something is very wrong in our world today. So watch the video. Let me know your thoughts below. Be respectful, and I'll talk to you again soon. Hey guys, Paul here with Starseed Paranormal. I'm doing a quick session tonight before I go out this weekend and do Alien Voices Part 3. I still want to follow up um, with that possibility of making contact with extraterrestrial beings who may be communicating with me through this particular app, and also some of the shortwave radios, or rather transistor radios that I've done sessions on using shortwave. But I wanted to do a quick session tonight and follow up with a couple of things that were said in the last experimental session I did with the Ghost Voice Box app. It said some interesting things about government officials, the White House, and I have some questions about that. During this session, you're going to see the volume bar on the side kind of pop up and down. As I ask a question, I'm going to turn the volume down and then turn it back up again, so I'm not talking over all of the chatter on the spirit box. But nonetheless, let's begin and see what comes through with this. I'm very interested, and I wanted to use this ITC Box 2 by Spain Paranormal, calling in my angels and guides and all high spirits from the light to please come and gather around and bring us honest information tonight. Help us to understand some things that I'm talking or that I'm thinking about, and let me know if there's any validity to these thoughts. So Are my angels and guides near? Are there high spirits from the light near me tonight? The first question I want to ask tonight is that it came through very spontaneously in the last session that I did, that the President of the United States was an old soul and a fallen angel. Now, in the past, I know there's people, particularly those who read and study the book of Enoch, who have this idea that the fallen angels have returned to this earth over and over again, incarnating as human beings to lead the world astray. And these fallen angels are usually our politicians, the kings, the queens, the presidents, um, the heads of our religions. This is why our religions are always so screwed up. They're the rich, they're the elitists, and they're always those in places of power that keep things in chaos. And they say that these are the terrors spoken of in the Gospels when Jesus said the tares grow with the wheat and the angels come in the end and take the tare out of the wheat and throw them into the fire because the tares were sown by the enemy. So, could you tell me, please, are there people right now in positions of power, people heading our religions, heads of our religions, the elitists, the uber rich in this world? Are some, many, or all of them actually old ancient souls, fallen angels, wearing the faces of human beings? I am of the belief that all politicians are liars. Many of them are not good people, and that's on both sides of the aisle here in the United States. But if I look online, I see so many people fighting over politics, choosing sides, saying, we're not the same. We believe in the right thing. You believe in the wrong thing. These right wingers, these left wingers, we're not the same. They're evil. They must go. They must die. Believing things that they're favored politicians and parties say. That if we have a little bit of logic, we know it's a lie, but they just believe the lies and the propaganda and the division tactics. Is this the fallen angels deceiving many and dividing people for nefarious purposes in the future? What will happen to the people that follow these potential fallen souls to the bitter end and never wake up from the spell that they're under? What will happen to these people's souls? Will these fallen souls, if they are in fact fallen angels, wearing the faces of human beings, sowing war and hatred and discord and confusion and division and lies about God, will these fallen souls, will these fallen angels be exposed soon? My final question is, there are going to be people who will listen to this session and they will become very angry. They will fight and ridicule and argue. They just can't seem to think for a minute, what if this is a possibility? What if this is true? What if all these people are crooked and evil, or even something like a fallen angel walking among us? Everybody's talking about hybrids and reptilians and extraterrestrials and things not of this earth walking among us. They can't even conceive that their favorite politician might be one of them, or one of many of them in these political circles, these elitists, these religious leaders. What would your message be to those people who don't want to hear this? Well, I thank my angels and guides for any answers or messages during this session. I thank all high spirits from the light who may have came and gave us a word or a thought to these, what I feel are thought-provoking questions worth thinking about. So I'm very appreciative of your participation in these sessions, in these experiments. And I also am very grateful for all of you who listen from home and, take the time to comment, to watch, to at least listen. Very much appreciated. So love and light to all. I'll see you in the next upload.